Today I'm going to show you a little bit about a product called Foam Board. Now, Foam Board is widely used in the design industry as a source really for presentation, for model making, and for various different uses. It's actually made up of a sandwich of paper and very thin foam inside there. So it's like an extruded foam and then paper on each side. It's very, very lightweight and very, very rigid. It comes in three thicknesses, as you can see here. We've got the 3mm thickness, the 5mm thickness, and then finally the 10mm thickness, like so. It does come in a variety of different colours, so we've got black and black grey, but I'll tell you about those later. Now, as far as foam board is concerned, it is quite important that when you're cutting this, you cut it with a very, very sharp blade. I've got a piece here and I'll show you what happens when you don't cut it with a sharp blade, and it can rip the foam inside, just as a demonstration there. So generally you want a nice sharp blade so you get a lovely smooth cut like so. Now, we do sell foam board in boxed quantities. As you can see, the product is very delicate, so generally the quantities come, as you'll see on the website, in a box like this, which has nice crush zones in it, so it does protect it. Because we are always asked, can we sell single sheets? But unfortunately it's just not viable due to the damaged nature of the board. I'll just put that down there. So I can show you now just a simple way of cutting the foam board. Best to have a nice cutting mat or some sort of surface on your table. Last thing you want to do is go through your lovely dining table. So if you lay your foam board flat, and again ideally with a metal ruler or a ruler with a metal strip in the edge, and you can cut with either, say, a Stanley type blade like so, or most people use the Swan Morton and the 3A blades, that 10A blades, sorry, 3A handle. It's most appropriate. I've just got a 3A blade in this one here, and to cut is very straightforward. Obviously, keep your fingers nicely out of the way, and just simply like that, follow the ruler like so. And this actually is the 10mm foam board, so it's quite thick, so you'll need a couple of cuts like so, maybe even 3 just to make sure, and there we go. There we have a nice clean cut of the foam. Now this, as a 10mm, can be used for modelling also, and you can obviously butt these edges up like so and produce all sorts of sculptures for architecture. The best glue to use for that type of item is the foam to foam glue. It's specially formulated not to melt the foam core of foam board, because obviously it is quite delicate, and the last thing you want to do is use something like super glue. It will just melt through. One of the good tips for doing this is to glue and just put a pin, like a simple pin, just straight through there. That will hold it in place while it's gluing, and once it's dry it's very rigid, and it does dry really quickly, so it's a great product to use. Most foam board it has a memory, so if you do actually make a dint in it, it's a memory, so it will keep that dint. You probably see there, so obviously very careful when you are using it not to bash it and around if you want it nice and smooth. As I said earlier, most times foam board is used for presentation, so you're generally gluing something onto a piece like that to use it to actually do a presentation together. So most cases really you'd use something like spray mount. We do actually sell a self-adhesive foam board, which again I will tell you about a little bit later on another post. If you click on the self-adhesive foam board, that will be there. So simply you spray mount, lay your work along so, and just centre up. This is repositional, so you can actually just move it around, and it gives you a nice rigid presentation surface. And that's all done, I think.